Hello students, in this session we are going to discuss the structure of C program, the basic structure of C program. In a C language, C programming, programs are written in a particular sequence. They are not written as we like. Like, I'm not going to write the a printf statement first, or then I'm not going to declare anything. No, it is not like that. You are writing it in a sequence of steps. You are going to follow a format. According to that format only, you are going to write the program. Under that one, the first thing we talk about is the documentation section. Now, what all comes under the documentation section? The name itself tells you that you are going to provide some documentation about the program. You are going to provide the documentation about the program. Now, what do you mean by this documentation? Nothing but you are providing some details about the program, like what are the data you are using, or what for are you writing the program, or what is your program going to do, who is the author or who is writing the program, etc., etc. Kind of detailing of the program will be given inside the documentation section. I can say in simple terms that documentation section consists of comment lines. Documentation section consists of comment lines. Now, the comments can be given in two ways. They may be, one is a single line comment, or it may be in multiple lines. The comments may be in single line or in multiple lines also. Now, if the comments are given in a single line, you may simply put a double slash followed by the comment here. Whatever comments you have, you will simply write the comment if it is a single line comment. Now, if it is a multiple lines of comment, then we'll put a slash and an asterisk mark and give whatever your multiple lines of comment are there, then close it using a asterisk then a star, or you may even close it here as well. That is how we give multiple lines of comment. Mostly we use this type of comment lines only. That is all about the documentation section. Now, coming to the next one, that is the link section. The link section. Now, the name itself is telling link section. Link. That means you are going to link. You are going to link your program with something else. You are going to link something here. What is that you are going to link here? Nothing but you are going to link some header files, or some library files which are existing in the C libraries. Okay, so in this section we are going to link our program with the header files which are available in the C libraries. Depending on the requirement, we will be linking these files. For this linking purpose, we use #include. We use #include followed by whatever file we wanted to use. These files are said to be header files. For example, I wanted to use string manipulating functions in my program. I wanted to use string manipulating functions in my program. In that case, what do I need? I need a string header file, because I am going to use some string functions in my program. I repeat, I am going to use some string manipulating functions in my program. So, I need to include string header file, that is string.h, into my program, right? So, #include string.h. I'll be writing that, okay? Or I may be using some printf scanf statements in my program. Then in that case, I will include #include stdio.h. I may be using some mathematical functions. For that, I'll be using math.h. So depending on the requirement of the program, what type of functions are you using, what type of manipulation calculations are you doing, depending on that one, these link section will be defined. Nothing but inside after include, within the angular brackets, you are going to write whatever header file you are using. The most common one we use is hash include stdio.h. The most common one what you use. Depending on the requirement, the rest of them like string.h or math.h or ctype.h if it is a character type of data. Depending on that one, rest of them will be included. Fine. Coming to the next one is the definition section. Now, the definition section, the name itself is telling you are going to define something. You are going to define something. What are you defining here? Nothing but you are defining the symbolic constants. You are going to define the symbolic constants. For example, in my program, I want the value of max to be 50. I want the value of max to be 50. So what do? I simply use hash define, a macro hash define. Suppose I want max to be 50. So simply max and 50. So throughout the program, wherever I am using max, the value 50 remains constant like that. I can't change it. I'm not able to change that one. Okay, and these lines are going to be the first line in our programming language. When you are defining these, they are going to be the first line in our programming language. So what for are they? Or in some cases, I may give hash define pi 3.14. And let me tell you, these names are given in capital case only, uppercase only. You will not use any lowercase here, because they are macros. You are defining in them like that. So they have to be written in uppercase only, not in lowercase. Please remember that. So that is about definition section. In the definition section, you are going to define some symbolic constants where the same constant value is going to remain unchanged throughout the program. The same value is going to remain. The next one we talk about is the global declaration section. The global declaration section. Now, this is the section where the data, or the variables or the functions, I repeat, the variables or functions which are not closed into a particular scope. Like, I can't use them only up to a particular function. The variables or the functions which have to be used in main or in some other user-defined functions also throughout the program, whose scope is not limited up to a particular function. Such type of data or such type of functions are written inside or declared inside the global declaration section. So once a variable or a function is defined or declared inside the global declaration section, such data, such functions can be used throughout the program wherever necessary. It can be a main function, it can be any user-defined functions, it can be. Okay, so that is about the global declaration section, and the global declaration section will be declared above all, means above the main section. It has to be declared above the main section. If you have declared it after main, within main, that means you are enclosing it within a scope, which is not a global variable again, right? So global, it can be accessed anywhere throughout your program. It can be accessed anywhere throughout your program. It may be main, it may be any user-defined function. You may have a number of user-defined functions in a program. So it can be accessed throughout any program. Such type of functions or data will be declared under the global declaration section, and these data are going to be defined before all the functions, before main also. Then comes the main section. Whatever execution is there, the program execution starting part will be there. It will be done from the main section only. Inside the main section starts with the curly braces and ends with curly braces, opening curly braces and closing curly braces. Now here we give the declaration part. The declaration part and the execution part. The declaration part and the execution part. In the declaration part, whatever data is essential for executing, whatever variables or whatever functions, whatever data on the whole is necessary for execution part is declared inside the declaration section as what data are you using, what type of data is it, what functions are you using, what type of argument or what type of value is it going to return, etc., etc. All types. That means what are the requirements for your program, what are the requirements of your program. All those requirements have to be declared before only. So you are putting all the raw material before you start the program. This raw material, this data, whatever variables or functions which are used in the execution part have to be declared before only. So that is about the declaration part. The very first thing after main section can be the declaration part, where you are going to declare all the variables, all the data, functions which are used in the execution part. Now comes the execution part. Here it is executed. Like for example, I wanted to display a name on the system through the program. What do? I simply write printf and I'll write the content. What happens there? The line will be executed, or I'll give some c is equal to a plus b. C is equal to a plus b. Then I'll give printf percentile d c. I gave it like this. Here what happened? This line gets executed. After this line executes, then only the next line will be executed. Before that, if I have to use C or A or B in my program, if I have to execute that one, first of all, I need to declare it. So what do? I'll declare it with some data type. For example, I may give int A, B, C. That means whatever is used in the execution part have to be declared before only in the declaration part. That is about it. Coming to the next one, these are the examples of executable part, where it is executing. It is giving you some output. It is calculating something. Depending on that one, it is giving you some output. So that is about this execution part. Now, after this, the user-defined programs will come. Nothing but the sub-program section. The sub-program section. As I told you just now, user-defined functions will be written inside this sub-program section. These are the this is the section where you write your user-defined functions, and these functions are called inside the main section. These functions are called inside the main section. Here you may be having n number of functions. You are not restricted to write only one or two user-defined functions. You may create n number of functions depending on your requirement, depending on the program's requirement. You can write any number of functions, and these functions are going to be called or going to be used inside the main section. So in this part, we'll write the user-defined function. Suppose function 1, function 2, and so on up to function n. I can write n number of functions depending on the requirement of the program. Hope you understood this concept. Very, very important topic, the very basic topic, basic structure of C program. Thank you.